So it's Tom Adam here at Canberra Martial Arts and Fitness, and we're doing a testimonial with the earplug coming out. That's staying in there. Doing a testimonial here with Jane Lawson and one of our members here. And so really want to start. I've got a couple of really basic questions. And we'll check the sound in a second as well. Yeah. So tell me originally, how did you find Canberra Martial Arts and Fitness?
So my child has been training here for the last 6 years. She's been coming here since she's about 5 or 6 years old. So I already knew that the facility around here was like really inclusive and welcoming and supportive. And I really enjoyed watching her interacting with the instructors. And when I finally made the decision to listen to you and overcome my fears about exercising and joining up and making a commitment, for me, I could already see that this was a place where I would feel welcomed and supported.
Yeah, awesome. And so let's cover that. So what was the biggest fear about joining a class here?
There were probably a couple of things. One was being concerned about what people would think. I was a lot bigger when I started exercising here, and I was really worried about people kind of making judgments about that. So that was probably one. And the other one was fear of injury. I was really worried I would injure myself. I got a history of a number of injuries, and I really didn't want to cause myself any harm. So I was really concerned about that too.
Oh, awesome. Okay, and so you mentioned that. So you had the fear of coming in. What's changed? What ultimately made you change your mind?
I think.
Don't say me.
Well, you certainly helped. You never put on any pressure.
Yeah.
It was always very much when you're ready.
Yeah.
Here we are. Yeah. So I think that made it easier. But for me, I'm a breast cancer survivor.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I was diagnosed in 2017. I was treated through 2018. I took a medication that made me gain even more weight than I already had, and weight is a really significant factor in breast cancer recurrence, and I have quite a high risk of recurrence. So in the end for me, it was I have to do something. Mm-hmm. And it has to be something that I'll want to keep doing, something that I'll enjoy. And I could see the community here was quite supportive. People seem to have a lot of fun in the classes. Yeah. So I thought, well, what have I got to lose? Yeah. You said come try, do some trial classes, and that's what I did. I did a couple of months of trial classes before I had weight loss surgery. Yeah. And the instructors were brilliant. Yeah. They modified, at the beginning they were modifying every exercise for me because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even get up off the floor on my own. So, they would modify all the exercises so I didn't have to go onto the floor, but they would still be challenging. Yeah. And they would still make sure that, it was achievable for me. Yeah. But it was also building, my strength and fitness. Yeah. So just coming to those first few trial classes, I knew I was going to be looked after. The first time I walked in, everybody introduced themselves. They were supportive. They were encouraging. So it was even just that first little step to do the trial class. Yeah. Once I'd done that, everything else was easy because then I realized that this is actually a great opportunity.
Oh, cool. And I'm glad to hear it. Brownie points for all the people who did the right thing with the training. And that's one thing we talk about. And we try to. It's really hard to convey that message. It's that we have that community and the wall on the values on the wall behind us. And I actually encourage people to meet and greet and actually get to know everybody that trains, which is a bit different to a lot of the other places that you've probably been.
And they really did. Yeah. Yeah. And you do see the same people every week, and the instructors really do know you. Yeah. And they understand what you can and can't do, and when you need to be pushed a little bit further, and when there's something that's really going to be quite difficult and does need to be modified. So that's very reassuring to someone who's afraid of injuring themselves.
Yeah, and fear is the thing that holds a lot of people back. Yeah. And I've been talking to a lot of people lately, and it's like that whole, what's the fear? And they go, I don't have any fear. And I go, yeah, you do. What's the fear? And then that sort of they put these little barriers in front of themselves to not admit that it's true. It's like, I'm worried that I won't be able to do it. I'm worried about this, and they say things like, I don't have the time, or I'm unable to, or I'm too busy.
Tick.
Yeah. So it's hard, but it's no. I thank you for sharing. And I suppose. And so you had that starting experience was really good, and you worked through it. So what are the changes that you've seen in yourself since starting?
Well, I've on a quantitative scale, I've lost more than 40 kilos, so that's great. But what the difference has made to me has really been in the things I can do now that I couldn't do before. Yeah.
Like before.
Yeah, I had really limited mobility and flexibility, and it's still not great, but it's like I can see it improving. You know, I'm not afraid of falling anymore because I know I can get up. If I fall. I can go camping, I can go bushwalking. We went to Thredbo a couple of weeks ago. The last time I went to Thredbo, it was awful. Too many hills, too many stairs, too hard for me to get around. This time, I'm practically running up the stairs. It's just made a massive difference to the quality of my life.
Awesome. To
build that kind of fitness and muscle and strength, that functional fitness, that I hear a lot of, that's, huge for me.
Awesome. And how's it made you feel about yourself?
I'm so much happier. I'm
That's
so
always
glad.
a tough question.
For me, obviously I knew I had to exercise because it was really important to get that risk of cancer recurrence down. But to actually enjoy it, to look forward to coming and doing that exercise, and to get that those reward centers lighting up in the brain when I can do something I couldn't do 2 weeks ago, and that happens to me all the time in class. There's an exercise that used to have to be modified for me to do. And now I can do it along with everybody else. And one day, I hope I'll be doing the other modifications, the one for the more advanced.
That's awesome.
Fitness peeps.
You'll be a fitness black belt before
exactly.
You know it. That's awesome. Okay, so for the newbies that are watching this video and thinking, oh my God, I could never do that, apart from the fact that Jane is an example of yes, you can. What would you say to those people, if you were to say it in the camera, so what would you say to those people who are sitting on the fence right now and still can't, like they're worried, they've still got the fear? What would you say to them to help them get past that?
Take a trial class. I think you often have offers for trials. What have you got to lose?
What about for those people who come and do one and then they never come back again? They still think they can't because you kept coming back.
I think you've got to make it a priority. The rewards for doing this are massive. You need to give it a good chance and to commit to it.
You don't believe me? Listen to her. So
there's nothing more important than your health. Because once you've lost that, you're losing a whole heap. You're not enjoying your holidays. You're not enjoying your hobbies. Your quality of life is going down. So for me, I would say you've got nothing to lose and so much to gain by giving it a proper go.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do it.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you for being part of the community for so long.
That is also my pleasure, very much so.
And obviously, sticking to it through COVID, because that's really important to us as well. But also trusting us. I think that's for us that's a big deal, because that's the one thing that we work hardest towards is gaining everybody's trust. So I really appreciate it, and thanks so much.
Thank you, Tom.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.